It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Thursday, May 29th, 2025. This is episode 887, not to be confused with 187, you mid-90s, East Coast, West Coast rapper fans, hip-hop scene. Episode 887 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, as usual, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, me, you, the water cooler contingent like Strive and Chuck Sabb, AA Witherspoon, Devin Grady, Carrie, Mara Levy, Mary Ellen Kennel. Good to see you. Perhaps with kids in Carline, although the school year is ending today here in the Low Country. Code Brew in the Upstate, Priceless Pancake. Folks over on LinkedIn like Benjamin Wilkinson and folks here like, Nerman and Marlon Johnson, my friend Space Tacos, and the GRC Audit Treasure Trove. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be doing, everything in my power to drink this cup of coffee as well as rip apart the essence of what those stories are trying to tell you so you can digest it a little bit easier and then be able to process it and extract additional value from it. So yes, it's interesting that some manufacturing company in some Midwestern state got hit with some variant of ransomware. But what does that mean? What can we do about it? What does it tell us about the industry, the ransomware ecosystem? Was there a particular TTP that we should be aware of? These are the insights that I want to give you with this show. And if you're not a practitioner and you're like, well, what kind of insights can I use? I'm just a student or I'm just looking to break in. Guys, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? Ding! This is a phenomenal answer to that question. Good morning, TG artist. You're going to be asked in any interview, how do you stay current? When you say daily cyber threat brief, you might be able to go a little bit deeper than that. If you really want to chain it together like an absolute legend, what you would do is, in responding to questions, interview questions that they have, you can sprinkle in a little bit of current event news and insights from that news, go deeper behind the meaning. The interviewer is going to know about the news story, and you're going to show analytical capability because of your ability to go deeper, which, by the way, in full disclosure, if you are new and you're still trying to drink from the fire hose, steal my, whatever I'm saying up here or whatever the other panelists are saying about insights on current stories, take those insights. You're literally learning it. It's not plagiarism, right? And then when they say, how do you stay current? You can be like, oh, yeah, Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Remember earlier where I was talking about SolarWinds? Remember earlier where I was talking about North Korean IT workers doing all sorts of shenanigans? Remember I told you about CISA laid off most of their senior cyber staff? Boom! Daily Cyber Threat Brief. That's what's up. You are going to absolutely drop the people's elbow on that interview. Believe that. Now, listen, I don't prep or research or any of these stories.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Mary Ellen Kennel. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? This is a hip show.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But listen, I will be able to bring the heat. I love this. This is exactly how I do it. Even if the camera was off, this is exactly what I do every morning. I just, invite you into the Buffer Auger Flow studio for the shenanigans, the crazies, the cybers, the Carls, the audios, all the things. So we can do this together as a community. Hashtag Team SC in chat, y'all. Now listen, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, make sure that you get your name up here. This is live chat right now. Down here on YouTube is the date, May 29th, and the Top Cyber News episode 887. Get all that in the screenshot. And if you're on YouTube mobile, you might be able to get the screenshot with the chat down below here. Whatever it is, just get the stuff you want, file it away, right? Screenshot file. Once a year, count the screenshots. It's called evidence. And then get your CPEs here. Kayla Sturgeon crunched the numbers. She reported back 120 CPEs possible per year, which is significantly more than you need per year. Many organizations require 40 a year, some 30 a year. Dude, 120, get out of here with that noise. I'm good. I'm good for the trifecta. All right, guys. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Holy crap. Viper Nils says, good morning, Team SC. Pumped about Simply Cyber email for the Hack and AD course. Yep. If you didn't know, we are creating all sorts of GRC and offensive security content over at Simply Cyber Academy. And there's a Hacking Active Directory course by Ryan Yeager that is free 99 right now. That's right, free 99. So giddy up on that. Guys, every episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, I'm super, super humbled and honored and just grateful to be able to partner with some amazing companies that sponsor the show, enable me to basically bring this show to you, right? Like if the show wasn't sponsored, I would probably have to figure out something because if it wasn't sponsored, this would be a hobby, and hobbies are fun and all, but when you're trying to pay your bills, the hobbies don't necessarily cut it. So let's hear from the stream sponsors really quick. We'll do Threat Locker, knock that out, and then we'll move into a couple others. As always, all the stream sponsors, if you're interested in sniffing them, there's the link in the description below. Check them out. I stand by all of them. I wouldn't do business with a shenanigan company. In fact, just as a little Simply Cyber community announcement or alert, right? If you didn't know, yesterday I had the unpleasant pleasure, the unpleasant distinguished opportunity, however you want to look at it. It absolutely sucks, but I had to do it. I had to ban 2 members of the Simply Cyber community for running a fraudulent enterprise and DMing and scamming community members. So don't do that. That's a bunch of bullshit, okay? We're not here to screw each other over. So anyways, thank you. And let's hear from the stream sponsors, legit companies. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Roswell UK asked me about the award ceremony at JawJack, and I'm happy to tell you all about it. It was really good. All right, guys. Hey, check it out. Let me tell you really quickly about Antisyphon training. Now, normally we're just talking about Antisyphon training, bringing the heat on cybersecurity education, but they also run summits, which are basically mini conferences. And on August 27th, which I know feels like a million years from now, they are running Blue Team Summit, a virtual cybersecurity conference kind of focused on defensive-focused content. But here's the kicker. Call for papers is open until June 15th, so you still have 2 weeks remaining to submit a paper. Now, what's submitting a paper? That is basically putting together a talk idea and submitting it. This conference is designed to be new speaker friendly. I can't encourage you enough. I made a video on the YouTubes on how to put together a, hold on one second, Jesus. I put together a video on the YouTubes on how to submit your first CFP or how to give your first conference talk proposal. It's right here. How to submit your first CFP. It is a 30-minute video. I walk you through. It's like literally a practical follow along. I put together an entire talk idea and submit it in the video. A couple people have already reached out to me. How to submit a CFP. Listen, a couple people have reached out to me already and have put together and submitted it. I can show you where the water is. I can show you where all the green pastures are, but I cannot make you drink the water. I cannot make you walk to the green pastures, but I am telling you with high levels of confidence, if you speak at conferences, it will have a very positive impact on your professional career. Believe that. If I am wrong, you can come back and throat punch me. That's how confident I am that speaking at cyber conferences of reputable nature will help you. And Antisyphon's Blue Team Summit is that. I've put together the how-to. Just follow it along. Submit one. Even if you're wicked nervous, submit it. You can always decline. People get accepted to conferences and decline all the time. I've been accepted and declined. It's not a big deal. People know it happens. But then if you submit and get accepted, well, hello, now we have options. It's like getting a job offer and deciding then if you want it or not. So don't sleep. Go to Blue Team Summit, submit a paper. Here's a link to it. I'm just a big fan of Antisyphon. And then, of course, we've got our friends, Barricade Cyber Solutions. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? I don't know. Is it? With business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at wicked risk. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your defensive shield. Is your defensive shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber attacks, ensure compliance, and safeguard your sensitive data. They have helped countless organizations, including my own, strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulns. Eric Taylor's great. You give him access to the M365 environment. Him and his team go in. They flip all the right switches. They do all the things. Listen, even if you work in cyber and you know what you're supposed to do, sometimes you don't have time to do it. Is it right? And you know, ain't
nobody got time for that.
So why not hire someone who knows what to do? Partner with them. They're trusted. Get them in there. Fortify365.com today to see how they can help you, right? At least go to Fortify365.com and then sniff around. Have a conversation with Eric. It costs $0 to have a conversation with Eric and see how they can help you. All right, we're going to save the Flare.io Academy read for the middle. Guys, it is Thursday. Every day of the week has a special segment, and Thursdays is What's Your Meme Thursday. We've got a banger for you today. I'm going to give you a little hint. Actually, no, I won't give you a hint. It's a great one, though. I've even gone ahead and put together a little music piece to go with it. Dan did not agree to that. Whoa. Haircut Fish with the meme and the 31 months. Eric Taylor with 50 gifted subs. Let's go. All right. So if you are one of the new squad members getting minted by Eric Taylor, the same Eric Taylor from Fortify365.com, you can go ahead and thank him as a head nod to Fortify365.com and Eric Taylor's gifted subs. Go check it out. Squad member, 38 months, Justin Gold, also a member of the mod team. Big fan of Justin Gold. All right, guys. If today's your first episode, you picked a heater, hashtag first timer in chat. Let me repeat that. If today is your first episode with us, if you're just checking out the stream, you stumbled in here, Chuck Sapp told you about it, somebody in an elevator was speaking about it, and you like eavesdropped on it. However you got here, it doesn't matter. It's not the journey in this situation, it's the destination. Welcome to the party, pal. We're happy to have you. Do me a favor, sit back, relax, drop a hashtag first timer in chat, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, May 29th, 2025. I'm Rich Straffolino. Microsoft wants to update all the things. Microsoft opened a private preview for a new update orchestration platform that operates on top of Windows Update.
Oh my God.
This aims to unify updates for all apps, drivers, and Windows components for an organization. Organizations can use WinRT APIs or PowerShell commands to onboard their updates. The new model will plan downloads and updates to minimize bandwidth, user downtime, and CPU usage. This will also show the history of all updates in the Settings app alongside official Windows updates. No word on Microsoft's timetable to publicly launch the tool.
All right, well, all right, here we go. This is a really interesting hot take, okay? So in the world of vulnerability management, patching your things, right? We have a sound effect for it.
You gotta patch it.
Okay, so notoriously, there's been a couple things wrong with vulnerability management. Number one, Digital She Wrote by Mickey Channel. There you go. Forgotten King 23, Timbuktu. Welcome to the party, y'all. Hun the Tormentor, Bogdan, Kevin Lucas, Evan. Dude, so many squad members. All good. 720 Stone Arrows up in this place. Miss Angeler. Damn. Leatherneck Cyber Warrior coming on out. All right, guys, so check it out. Here's the deal. You have two choices. You can have everything under one magic easy button, or you can have everything split out all over the place. Now, it becomes a maintenance and time concern. The easy button does all the things for you, but you lose some level of control, of insight. You know, maybe you're a type A person who has a lot of trouble delegating, and it gives you a lot of consternation wanting to have this go on under the hood. Maybe you like getting into all the details, but here's the reality. On balance, updating all the things, right? Hold on, let me fix this visual. Updating all the things from your Windows operating system, on balance, sounds good. There's a couple challenges here. Oh, you did 100. Hold on. I didn't see the extra 50. Eric Taylor gifted subs. Let's go. All right, hold on. I'm sorry, Eric. I saw the first 50. Did recognize that. Did not see the second 50. Congratulations and thank you very much. Hey, everybody. If you're getting the gifted subs, do thank at Eric Taylor. Is it at Eric? Let me see if it's at Eric. No, at Barricade. No, at Eric. At Taylor. Eric, I don't know what your YouTube handle is, so it's tough to thank you. Let me see this really quickly. Yeah, it says at Eric. All right, I don't know how to do it. Okay, guys, here's the deal. Number one, if you have some type of application, like let's say it is a big one, like Adobe Reader, okay, something big like that. If Microsoft is going to reach out and patch your Adobe Reader, right, you have to engage. Adobe has to like basically be configured to allow Microsoft operating system the permissions and the authority to go in and make those changes, right? And make sure that the patches work correctly and everything like that. So here's what I think. Here's my predictions, okay? Number one, I think this is fine for my Aunt Dorothea, my Aunt Donna. I think on balance, this is going to help a lot of non-power users stay secure, okay? Now, at the enterprise level, there's a lot of solutions that already do this in a much more centralized, IT management way. If you push this down, there's going to be, first of all, there's going to be apps that are not configured to be updated by Microsoft operating system. So what's going to end up happening is people are going to have this blanket idea that, oh, my Microsoft operating system patches all the things. It even says, look at the friggin' title of this story. Microsoft wants Windows to update all software on your PC. Well, if I'm running, some type of like open source flim-flam, ticketing system thing or whatever, or I'm running whatever, right? Let's say I'm running, there's multiple levels of this. Let's say I'm running a WordPress server, right? maybe Windows can update your WordPress server, maybe, but it's not going to update the plugins probably. So now what you're going to end up having is this false sense of security because you're going to ask the IT person at your office, hey, are we I mean, this would be stunning if a business owner said this, but hey, are we patching the things, right? They would probably say it a little bit differently, but like, hey, are we patching? And that person goes, oh, yeah. Microsoft operating system patches all the things now. It updates all the software. And in reality, there's like a massive gap of software that's not supported, configurations that are not being touched because those aren't updates, extendable pieces of software that are not included in the update, right? So you're going to get this gap of attack surface that is essentially unknown. If you're a GRC auditor and you don't know any better because maybe you're a junior auditor and some system admin tells you, oh yeah, vulnerability management, we got it covered. Our Microsoft patches everything, done. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity for breaking here. Now let's turn our attention to something a bit more nefarious.
Flaming Donkey likes this. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so dude, if you are creating a single point of access to be able to patch and touch and bring all the things, right? Like a threat actor is going to love that. You're basically allowing Microsoft operating system to update drivers, update software, make configuration changes. Hello, let's do some DLL hijacking. Let's bring your own vulnerable driver. Let's just push a patch that is basically a Trojanized update. I don't even know what the extent of this is. If you have a problem, you can typically roll back patches, right? That's like another feature. Let's say I apply a patch, right? And it blue screen and deaths my box for whatever reason. This does happen from time to time with Microsoft patches. You're going to roll the patch back. Is that feature here? Can a threat actor roll back your operating system patch levels to known exploitable versions and then punch a hole in the side of your friggin' enterprise? Possibly. So yes, this is cool. Yes, you can make a commercial. I'm a Mac, I'm a PC, right? But when you get into brass tacks, this actually could introduce more risk than it actually reduces. So I got my eye on you. I got my good eye on you, Microsoft. But this is a great one for the conversation for the community, 100%. I mean, this is almost like a conversation like like Microsoft recall, which was like way more egregious. Like everybody was like anti-recall, but this one is a discussable topic. Let's go.
Lexus breach impacts 364,000 people. The prominent analytics company disclosed that its LexisNexis Risk Solutions business received a report from an unknown third party about accessing company information on April 1st. An investigation found that the company itself didn't suffer a breach of its systems, but that some data which was held in GitHub was acquired by an unknown third party. This information includes names, contact details, social security numbers, and driver's license numbers. Regulatory filings in Maine, South Carolina, and Vermont disclose that this GitHub data was initially accessed on December 25th, 2024. Merry Christmas. The company has found no signs of misuse and will offer impacted victims 2 years of credit monitoring.
No! Hey, did you guys catch that? Don't worry, there's 2 years of credit monitoring. Yeah, let's get some of that. The proverbial tire fire of identity theft protection. So LexisNexis, which is LexisNexis, 1,000%. They've been around forever. They are like the OG data broker, as far as I'm concerned. A million years ago, when I was an undergrad, before I had a million years ago when I was undergrad, before I had a pager, LexisNexis even was existing then, where you could kind of like use it for research purposes and stuff. They've just grown over time. One of those companies that, how much money do they make? Let's see. I bet you they're $1 billion company. $11 billion. They are a subsidiary of RELX, a global provider of information-based analytics. Yep, which is basically fancy speak for data brokering, right? And data analytics. Yeah, $11 billion. You want to tell me for a hot minute that data isn't the new gold? Get out of here with that noise. I'm telling you, man. So yeah, they got a breach. It sucks. 364,000 people. Honestly, I'm disenfranchised at this point. LexisNexis, this is like, whatever the pain is for this isn't even going to rise to the level of like senior leadership. This is like, just cut a check. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving on. We've got a really big project in Bogota we got to focus on here. So it had something to do with GitHub, a GitHub repo of some sort. Let me see. Yeah, look. You want to talk, dude, they have a 364,000 person data breach on GitHub. You think that's bothering them? Look at this. Over the last 3 years, they've had data sharing relationships with U.S. Customs and Border Patrols and car companies. Who knows what they're doing, but when they're getting like public backlash, a data breach on a GitHub repo is not, it's not on their radar. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. LexisNexis, you're a faceless conglomerate. I will tell you though, again, I've just finished reading the book Careless People by Sarah Wynne Williams. A great book. It's a memoir. It's basic. It almost reads like it's like an active diary she maintained for the 7 or 8 years she was at Facebook starting in 2009. Really interesting perspective too. Because she, she's not an American. She's female. She didn't go to Harvard. The way she got her job was like kind of a side door type thing. And just listening near the end of the book on how weaponized and targeted the data on Facebook can be. It gets dark, y'all. The ability to incite riots, the ability to incite genocide, the ability to push self-harm, right? All these allegations, I mean, I say allegations to prevent legal liability. Read the book or listen to the book. You'll see what I mean. All right, let's keep going.
Cyber insurance premium volume expected to double.
What the hell?
Bloomberg reports that the insurance company Munich Re AG expects the global cyber insurance market to hit $16.3 billion in 2025 and roughly double to $30 billion by 2030. Cybersecurity Ventures estimates that hacking crimes resulted in $9.5 trillion in losses in 2024, with the vast majority of those risks uninsured. The insurer Beasley plc estimates that less than half of the Fortune 100 and less than 10% of SMEs have a cyber policy.
All right. Okay. So many of you know, if you're a regular, did we have any first timers? If today's your first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Many of you know this. If you're a long timer, if you're not, let me introduce you. Cyber insurance is an incredibly narrow niche within cybersecurity. There's only a few of us. We get together at Vegas every Black Hat. There's like 12 of us, and we have breakfast, and we talk about warranties, and policy and stuff. Anyways, for the longest time, y'all, there was a Oklahoma Sooner run on scooping up insurance policies like 2014, 2015. You could get throw it on as a rider onto your insurance policy for your E&O. Get your own side one. Then things like WannaCry happen and NotPetya. NotPetya is probably the most seminal event in cyber insurance world. NotPetya was a destructive virus, wiper virus, written by allegedly Russia, targeting 100% confirmed Ukraine. And the thing is, it got out. It got out of containment, basically, and destroyed all sorts of things and caused massive, massive billions of dollars of damage to Mondelez, as well as Maersk, the shipping and transport container company, and a company called Zurich International had insurance policies with both of those companies, and they got taken to the woodshed out back and just absolutely brutalized on paying out on those premiums. So there was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction in the cyber insurance industry, and now, as of today, if you try to go get a cyber insurance policy, it's very, very difficult, right? Insurance companies will say right off the rip, are you using MFA? Are you training your end users? Are you like there's a couple basic questions, right? Are you doing incident response? Do you have someone in charge of information security? All these things. And if you answer no to any of them, they tell you, we don't want your money. You are too much of a radioactive risk. Like if you saw Chernobyl on HBO, like the first episode where the guy's just like barehanded picking up radioactive material, unaware that it's like going to nuke his body. That's what you are if you answer no to those questions. And the insurance companies are like, nope, we're good here. See ya. Right?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Right. So anyways, it sounds like based on the current market of insurance, the insurance companies are ready for round 2 of upping premiums and making it even more difficult, right? The ransomware industry continues to chug along. Business email compromise continues to be a very, very, not as well publicized, but very, very financially damaging a cyber attack for businesses and insurance companies, frankly. Like, listen, I have no love for insurance companies, okay? I'm not like an insurance, sycophant who's like, oh, the insurance companies can't do anything wrong. Like, at the end of the day, think about an insurance company as just a friggin' business. They charge X amount of money for premiums. So let's say $1 million, right? They're a business. They have to pay for their overhead and expenses and all that. So that's $1 million minus X, which now, like, let's just say it's $100,000 to run their business, right? So now they have $900,000 in profit. They have to account that some insurance policies are going to get called in. So let's say they predict $800,000 worth of insurance policies are going to be called in. So now they've spent $900,000 on delivering a service and they have $100,000 left in profit. Fine. Okay. Now, same insurance company, which can very, very, it's so difficult to predict cyber attacks because if you're going to predict like damage from a flood, damage from a fire, damage from a robbery, you can look and say, well, Omaha, Nebraska is not going to flood. We're fine there. Beverly Hills, California, maybe the likelihood of armed robbery is not as high as maybe somewhere else, right? So you can use actuarial tables and you can use historical context to inform on these things. With cyber attacks, bro, one misconfiguration tomorrow can lead to the Move It breach by Clop Ransomware, where thousands of large businesses are getting punched in the mouth. That is incredibly difficult to predict. So what ends up happening is the insurance company, same situation, $1 million in premiums, $100,000 in overhead. So now they got $900,000 in profit. And then they get hit with like $4 million in policies. They've got to pay that. It's so wild that insurance companies will actually get insurance policies for themselves. I forget what the term is, but there's a term where insurance companies get insurance policies on overspending what their profit margin would be to cover their expenses so they don't go bankrupt. It's insane. So anyways, obviously the insurance companies aren't fools. This is not just a cash grab by insurance companies. This is managing risk for them as well. TLDR, I'm all about getting cyber insurance all day, every day. Get some, right? But if your plan, and I've had so many CIOs in my life say this to me, and I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs off a mountaintop. Oh, we don't need to invest in cybersecurity. We've got cyber insurance. If we get hit, we'll just call the insurance in. And it's like, you damn fool. Like, that is not, first of all, that's not due care. Second of all, that is a foolish way. Okay, so fuck it. I'm sorry. Let's not put locks on our front doors of our house. Let's not protect our personal belongings because we have a homeowner's insurance policy. Who gives a damn, right? Why do we have fire extinguishers at the restaurant? Who cares? If the restaurant catches fire, let the entire grill go up. We've got an insurance policy. You're so short-minded. Stop it, okay? Insurance is a just in case, not your information security program. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Surveillance industry clashes with Indian regulations. Late last year, India created new regulations that require all internet-connected CCTV models imported after April 9, 2025 to submit hardware, software, and source code for assessment in government labs before being sold in the country. The rules require CCTV cameras sold in India to have tamper-proof enclosures, strong malware detection, and use encryption. Although the regulations do not call out any specific country, sources speaking to and documents seen by Reuters attest that these rules were in part a response to China's surveillance capabilities. An April 3rd meeting with surveillance gear executives, including Hanwha, Motorola, Bosch, Honeywell, and Xiaomi, told government officials they weren't ready to meet certification requirements. The government declined a request to delay the regulations at the meeting. India currently has 15 labs that can review 28 applications at a time, but as of May 28th, there were 342 applications pending, and since testing began, labs have approved just 35 applications, and only one from a foreign country.
All right. Yeah, a whole bunch of things. Like, just because China is allied with India and Russia and North Korea under this BRICS thing, doesn't mean that they can't spy on each other, right? And I don't know. I don't know if the United States is like BFFs with the UK, but we also kind of like spy on them, right? It makes me, again, this is like a completely obscure reference that many of you will not get. But like in DayZ, when you're running and you meet someone, right? If you friend them, you're still like looking back every 15 seconds to see if they've like armed themselves, right? And they're going to turn on you. So, dude, when you are doing this type of national first world countries with power and influence and money and stuff like that, they're all jockeying for position, right? It's almost like an episode of Big Brother on CBS, right? It's today, but like, I'm going to screw you over tomorrow, right? So you can't just give in. What's happening here, it appears, is that India is concerned, which produces a ton of hardware surveillance technology, is also baking in all sorts of, surveillance, key logging, Trojanized information, espionage, like all sorts of like surveillance type stuff to get more intel on what those devices are doing. So not only is India getting what it needs, but then China is also getting the India stuff, right? So just kind of hoarding data. India is concerned about this. I will say that India is a massive country with a huge population, and therefore, kind of like China, has a large, national budget to spend money, which is good, which is why Facebook and Google tried so hard to get into China and made such massive concessions to get into China, because it's all about straight cash.
Straight cash, homie.
All right, so we'll see. One thing that is interesting, so India has set up labs. This is the right way to do it. India set up labs, and they're testing the tech, and I guess if they find something concerning, they will not buy it or they'll throw it back. If they do not find anything concerning, they'll approve it. What's unfortunate is it would appear that they're not sharing their results. This would be ideal for the greater good of humanity, that if India discovered a Huawei CCTV camera that was also sending screen caps to some IP address in China to like an Alibaba database server, it would be nice to know that, right? So we as a global community also do not purchase that tech, but it doesn't sound like India is sharing that. I will say, as a fun project for yourself, if you're feeling fancy, you could buy, like go on Amazon, search for webcam, sort by price, and choose the least expensive one, right? I.e., right, the one that like could be a problem, right? Maybe a TP-Link network device that's come under great suspicion lately. Anyways, grab one of those, set it up on your network, span port it, stick it on a separate lab VLAN, and monitor the network traffic. Do your own kind of analysis. See if anything dodgy's happened. There's one idea. Number 2, rip the firmware off. Get all up into the hardware side of it. Stick JTAG links into it or UART and interface with the operating system. See if you can't find hidden backdoors, hidden accounts, persistence mechanisms, anything dodgy, right? That's called security research. And, you know, I would say you're more likely to find something interesting on the cheapest piece of IoT tech on Amazon than you are from, say, you know, a Gigamon firewall or so, you know what I mean? Which is going to run you $250,000 to begin with. So anyways, fun activity. Daniel Lowry, just as a quick shout out, Daniel Lowry over at Antisyphon, he personally knows quite a bit about hardware hacking. So if you're interested in what I just said, he's definitely someone to engage with.
And now thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. That's ThreatLocker.com/CISO.
All right. Hey, really quickly, Priceless Pancake says what I'm talking about doesn't sound like GRC. Listen, just because I wear a Run GRC shirt doesn't mean I don't like to
Dabble in the dark arts.
All right, let's go really quickly here. Hey, Alpha Sierra is getting us off and running. Thanks, Alpha Sierra. Really quickly, thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, ThreatLocker, Antisyphon, and Flare. Guys, let me tell you really quickly about Flare Academy. Go to the link in the description below that says Flare. Click on it. I think it's simplycyber.io/Flare. This is something I don't want you to miss out on. They are offering, so Flare.io is a cyber threat intelligence platform, but they also have Flare Academy, which is a free learning platform, basically, where they have guest speakers come in, right? Think of like speaking opportunities. And you attend a webinar, and then right afterward on Discord, they have a live open Q&A, kind of like we do with Jawjacking and stuff like that. It's awesome, guys. June 4th, next week, they are running the Introduction to Ransomware Ecosystem. Tammy Harper, who's a senior threat intelligence researcher at Flare, is giving the 2-hour talk. Listen, you will understand. It's a foundational workshop, which means anyone can attend and get some value from it. And they're going to be talking about the ransomware landscape, insights into operations, techniques, and prevention. You want to blow minds at an interview? Go to this talk and learn. You want to level up your team's defensive capabilities about getting hit with ransomware, the number one threat, the number one threat right now, or it's not really a threat, the number one risk, really. Boom. Right here. Go to the link in the description below. I cannot attend this talk. It will be available on replay. I do plan on watching it. But for anyone else who can go, let me know. I would love it. Chris Whitlock just dropped a link in chat. Thanks, Chris. All right, guys. Every single day of the week here at Simply Cyber has a special segment. And, guys, I love Thursdays. What's Your Meme Thursday? Dan Reardon, a.k.a. The Haircut Fish, a longtime Simply Cyber community member, all-around great guy, loves crocheting, loves making memes, husband, father, cyber pro, just cool dude. He's been making these memes for 2 years, and today's a banger. I'm actually going to compliment this a little bit. So many of you may or may not know that I am, I was cast in an MTV reality show. The show premieres June 3rd, but the trailer has come out already. And Dan has gone ahead and taken some liberties with this. So may I present you with your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief meme of the week. Dan Reardon, here we go. All right, before Snoop swears out, there you go, everybody. Here we go. Let me get this back up. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. So this is your meme of the week. This is the hero shot from the trailer, and Dan has gone ahead and put the Mimi sunglasses on it. So I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. As always, enjoy. Dan has been the one who's been pushing this hashtag influencer thing. Kathy Chambers is saying it's positive influence, so love it, love it, love it. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off with the la 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 laws. You know the words, and if you don't, I'll give you a hint. It's la 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 laws. Let's go. Oh no. Dan says it's in tenor now. Yikes. All right, let's finish strong, y'all.
Botnet hits ASUS routers. Security researchers at Grey Noise discovered a novel botnet dubbed ASUS operating a campaign since mid-March 2025, targeting SOHO routers from ASUS, hence the name, as well as Cisco, D-Link, and Linksys. On ASUS routers specifically, the campaign exploits an old command injection flaw to add a threat actor-controlled SSH public key and enable listening on TCP port 53282. This allows for persistence across configuration changes and firmware updates. The researchers identified over 9,000 affected ASUS routers, although so far malicious requests have been minimal. It's unclear what the operational goal of the botnet is long-term.
All right. So, I mean, first of all, if you're running an ASUS router, you gotta patch it. Number two, interesting. You don't always see it this way, but basically they are, this threat actor is attacking these ASUS SOHO, so small office, home office routers, in a variety of ways. Brute force login creds. So this could be default configuration, or excuse me, default credentials, right? So admin, password 123, like whatever the vendor sets it to. I mean, actually, it doesn't have to be just the vendor. It could be, since we know it's ASUS, admin. So the username and password is admin. Great job. Again, I firmly believe that any network, well, any any device that has a web admin portal login should require you to change the password before you're allowed to use it. But they also have bypassing authentication, so this could be some type of website or OWASP type of web application security failing, and then exploiting older vulns, so technical compromise. So basically, there we go. Basically, it's a choose your own adventure on how these things get compromised. Now, what's interesting is it's exploiting a 2-year-old vulnerability through command injection flaw, right? But if you haven't changed your admin credentials, that's a 0-day vulnerability, because like it basically is just sitting there and it will always be available. All right, let me see. Oof. If you've been exploited previously, upgrading your firmware will not remove the SSH backdoor. So I guess you got to patch it, but not really, because it doesn't matter. Very special version of the sound effect. Yikes. Okay. So this does seem more sophisticated from a threat actor perspective. What's interesting is they haven't really done anything yet with the compromised routers. So almost like staging them. Let's see. Gosh, they're targeting more than just ASUS routers too. It looks like they're targeting, this is generic, right? SSL VPNs, DVRs, those are all generic BMC controllers. But then D-Link, Linksys, QNAP, Arcanus network. So now the profile expands further. So now if you're running D-Link, Linksys, QNAP, Arcanus, or ASUS, you could be in effect. Hey, really quick, we got a first timer here. Provisional creator. Welcome to the party, pal. Squad members, especially the 100 squad members who just got joined because Eric Taylor. Look in your emote tray. There it is. Haircut fish nose. Welcome to the party, pal. If you can, please welcome provisional creator to the team. So I'm not quite sure how do you discover this if it's so stealthy. Dude, upgrade your firmware as soon as possible. Well, so basically, they said if you're already infected, upgrading the firmware will not fix the problem. Upgrading the firmware will prevent the exploitation from happening in the first place, so you can at least get in front of it. But what I will tell you is, if you upgrade your firmware and your credentials are still admin, you're still going to get pwned, right? So you got to do all the things. Finally, they do have IOCs here. Gray noise. I like gray noise. Gray noise is a pretty cool, like, I would call them like a lower tier, like less. They're not like Cisco Talos or Unit 42, but they are legit. Here, gray noise, NESSH, hush. Okay. Definitely go check that out. I like their write-ups. I don't see them all the time, but I do like them. They have, actually, this is kind of cool. They have IOCs for both brute force attacks as well as technical exploitation. I mean, look at how detailed the if you're listening on audio and not watching, the Gray Noise blog is a very well done technical write-up with all the code, all the screenshots, showing you all the things that you should be looking for IOCs. It's not just a list of hashes and IP addresses. It's much more involved. So this is a really cool. And down at the bottom, they do have some IP addresses and files that you can look for, as well as the public key. This is probably the most important one. This is the key that the threat actor is using to SSH in back remotely, the public key. If you see this, it's definitely, they can generate a new public key, but you got to remember, one of the challenges of maintaining PKI or public key infrastructure is managing all the keys and revocation of keys and issuing new keys. It can be done. It's not a big deal. But when you have 6,000 compromised assets and someone discovers the public key on like 40 of them, are you really going to revoke those keys, generate 40 new, or not 40, but like a new public private key pair, and then you have 5,960 here and 40 here? It would become unmanageable. So I actually think if you find this key and you screw around with it, you should be okay. Since updating the firmware does not remove persistence, I don't know if this is a full-on re-image the device and then start fresh. If that would fix it, you would hope so. But all right, let's keep going.
Dark partners dropping info stealers. Cybersecurity researcher Gongja discovered a threat group dubbed Dark Partners. This group fakes websites to impersonate dozens of apps and other tools, including 7 cryptocurrency platforms, VPN services, payment processors, and remote desktop solutions. These pages all provide a simple download button to these services, but instead deliver malware loaders like Payday or the info stealers Poseidon and Luma. These attempt to scrape crypto wallet information and use a Google Calendar link to retrieve C2 server addresses. On Windows, Dark Partners uses code sending certificates, but as of this recording, none are valid.
All right, so check it out. For the sake of speed and time, sophisticated threat actors, they're trying to target crypto people, steal their wallets, steal their crypto money, etc. So, on Dorothea out there who has no crypto, not really a problem. Like, honestly, it sounds like even if someone got infected, if they didn't have crypto stuff, the impact would be lower because this threat actor group is just focused on that. The way that they're targeting is by having fake lookalike applications get downloaded. So like, here's a WhatsApp clone. Here is a MetaMask wallet clone, whatever it is. It's a Trojanized software. This is a classic example of Trojan software where it purports to do something. It probably does do that something, but it also does other things. They seed it at crypto software download sites, right? And then what I thought was interesting is they're using Google Calendar invites for C2, which is kind of odd. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I believe it. I've once been told, I think Mike Saunders told me this, like if you can send data to somewhere, it can be turned into a C2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be some special, hidden pipe or something. It could be anything. As long as you can send data somewhere, you can have a C2. There we go. I told you this the other day, and I'll repeat it. The AI, image to video, the VO3s, that is so hot right now. That's the current kind of attack vector. But basically, educate your end users, period, full stop. Do not download random software from random sites because it's free or it's cool or whatever. You have a very, very strong chance of infecting yourself. It's this is no different than walk into the Apple store and buy an iPhone, right? Oh, it's $1,000. This is too expensive. Yes, I get it. All right. But you know what? It's definitely secure. Now, if you walk out of the iPhone store disappointed because you couldn't afford an iPhone, and across the street, there's a guy wearing a trench coat with a hat and sunglasses in a wicked dark seedy alley, and he's like, "Psst, come here. I'm selling iPhones too, and it's totally legit." And you're just like, dum 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 dum, and then expose their trench coat, and they've just got knockoff iPhones. They're like, "You want one? How much? $3." You're like, "Oh, I'll take two." Right? What do you think is happening there? You are absolutely introducing yourself to risk, and it. You would never go down a dark alley with a strange, dangerous looking person and then do business with them. I know it looks fancy, but when you go to these websites, that's what you're doing. Educate your end users.
Faux Bitdefender site delivers real malware. In other spoofed site news, researchers at Domain Tools discovered a campaign that uses a spoofed version of Bitdefender's antivirus download page for Windows, but instead of legitimate tooling, it redirects visitors to the storeinstaller.exe file, which installs VenomRat, StormKitty, and Silent Trinity malware. Combined, the three provide persistent remote access, attempts to steal crypto wallet information, and provides a framework for long-term control. While this might seem like another campaign to quickly grab crypto credentials like we just covered, the researchers say the total malware bundle shows signs of looking to resell access to the infected device.
All right, there we go. So Bitdefender, people are very familiar with Bitdefender, a very popular anti-malware. It's really on the nose. A lot of times you see threat actors target security related tooling and processes in order to commit crime because it's so on the nose, right? So, hey, here's an anti-malware solution. You're obviously looking for anti-malware. Boom, infected, right? We also see this from time to time when a threat actor will text you and say that your bank account has been hacked, and they get you all excited about that, and then they trick you into giving the credentials so then your bank account can be hacked. You know what I mean? So it's kind of on the nose. For this particular one, guys, I guess be aware. You could share this in your circles that there is malicious Bitdefender going out. All I will say is you got to really quickly think about this for a second. Yes, you can say, hey, there's a fake Bitdefender site. Be on the lookout. But think about the modularity of this particular attack. You go to the fake website, you click download, you download what you think is a Bitdefender application, and instead it installs this triumvirate of nasty malware, VenomRat for remote access, StormKitty for siphoning up your creds in your crypto wallet, and Silent Trinity for exfilling that data out, okay? That is the chain. But listen really quickly. This is why I want you to wrap your head around this and remember. Just because it's a fake Bitdefender site today, that could be changed to a fake Telegram download tomorrow or a fake VPN solution tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's modular. They can swap out the website. It's a website, right? In 2025, you could have ChatGPT whip you up a website. So don't wrap your head around, oh, it's not a Bitdefender website, so we're good here. And that's why when you are telling your end users and making them aware, if you say things like, oh, be on the lookout for Bitdefender, they almost will get tunnel vision and they'll be just clicking on all the things as long as it's not Bitdefender. that part is wicked modular, okay, by design. Again, you should educate your end users on not clicking on dumb stuff and let them know, hey, that, right now it's Bitdefender, but it could be other things. For your own security operations stuff, you can see the malware does seem to reuse C2 IPs, these two IPs right here. You can see on screen, I invite you, if you're listening on audio, to look up the fake Bitdefender site spreads news article, which will have those IP addresses. You can drop them in your SIM tool, see if people are listening, put them in your firewall to block. They also have some domain names. Domain names are trivial to change, but basically one's spoofing Armenian ID Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, Microsoft login. You can block these, but also here, obvious opportunity to educate your end users on typo domain squatting, lookalike domain names. This Royal Bank of Canada, royalbanksecure.online. So I might even assume that it's royalbanksecure.com or something like that is the real one. So be on the lookout for these like stupid looking top level domain names, right? So if you go to like bankofamerica.top or bankofamerica.tv, like, come on, what are we doing here? But honestly, you got to account for the lowest common denominator.
U.S. laptop farms enabling North Korean remote jobs. The Wall Street Journal profiled Christina Chapman, a 50-year-old operator of a laptop farm used by North Korean operators to infiltrate as remote workers in U.S. companies. Chapman was approached on LinkedIn to be the U.S. face of a company placing overseas IT workers, with North Koreans operating similar schemes on Upwork and Fiverr. Notably, Chapman wasn't aware that she was working for North Korea. These farmers set up domestic online connections, facilitate paychecks, send along tax and identification forms, and maintain the laptops that North Koreans log into. CrowdStrike identified roughly 150 cases of North Korean workers operating on customer networks, and laptop farms have been seen in at least 8 states. These operators also hired Americans to provide domestic mailing addresses, pass liveliness checks, and conduct job interviews. The FBI raided Chapman's home back in October 2023, and she pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering charges and is set for sentencing on July 16th.
All right. So, this is part of the attack sequence. So North Korea is going to continue to try to work in the United States as far as IT and, security, not security, but like sometimes it's just IT work, software dev work. And the idea is that they're getting money and sending it back to the People's Republic of North Korea. And sometimes it's to exploit access and, commit espionage of sorts. Okay. Here is the deal. Number one, I get text messages all the time. I'm sure some of you do. It's like unsolicited, like, hey, would you like to work? Here's some, you can make $1,000 a week or whatever, or $700 a day. I saw your profile on Indeed, whatever. I click report junk every time. But people are doing that. Also, there's been, I actually reposted someone's tweet the other day. On LinkedIn, there's a thing called lishing, which don't even get me started on the, asterisk ishing trend, quishing, smishing, vishing, all that stuff. But where they're like, oh, hey, like, would you be interested? I think Carrie and Chad actually got taken for a ride by one of these threat actors, purporting to be like a legit job, and it was just a scam. This is the deal, guys. What's unfortunate is this woman was running a laptop farm. There's probably plenty of people running these laptop farms. The laptop farm makes it very difficult for us as practitioners to discover whether or not there is a legit threat actor operating in our environment, because all of the things that we do to check, do they turn their webcam on? Do they VPN in from North Korea, whatever, right? No, they basically use a human American as a proxy. It's basically like a 21st century proxy where it's not just the tunnel going through, but it's the human piece that they're going through as well to proxy what the business thinks that they're working with versus what they are. Now, the fact that she pled guilty to wire fraud and these other type of crimes would lead me to believe she was fully aware and complicit in doing this. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like you can't be naive and be like, oh, like, I'm running like 18 different laptops. Like, clearly you're doing something janky, right? The other thing I want to point out is North Korea doesn't give a flying F about this woman, right? Think about how easy it is for them. They're like, oh, hey, 7 of our assets in the United States got arrested. Whatever. Go get 7 more off LinkedIn. So it's they're not going to care, right? The other piece of it, guys, I hate to be like real. I'm borderline cynical here. Between what is going on, again, this isn't a political show. This is just an objective observation. If you look at the economy in the United States right now, inflation's going up, unemployment's going up, layoffs, Doge, AI workforce displacement. It's not a good time. There's a lot of challenges going on. And if you get laid off, okay, we just saw the other day, Booz Allen laid off 2,500 people. Booz Allen, what I would consider a prestigious, kind of Big Four consulting firm. In full disclosure, I worked there for 6 years. Like, if they're laying off people, right? Like, right? So here's the deal. I have a wife. I have kids. I have responsibilities, right? If I got laid off and I am trying to make 2 ends, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, trying to make ends meet, and I can't, and I'm worried about losing my home. I'm worried about my truck getting repossessed. My kids are like, Dad, I'm hungry. When can I eat? And I've got nothing but friggin', empty boxes in my cupboards, right? Do you know what happens when you get desperate? You start making desperate decisions. And this right here, this feels like, honestly, this feels like it's not hurting anyone, right? Again, it's illegal as hell, so I'm not saying do it, but I could see the difference between committing armed robbery and doing this for money. It feels like 2 different crimes, right? So I could see this becoming even more of a problem, right? And more people wanting to do it, right? So it is a perfect storm of vulnerable people who would not normally be interested in committing crime, right? I mean, honestly, like, watch any post-apocalyptic dystopian TV show or movie. What happens? There's a complete breakdown of society, and people who would not normally commit crime choose to, simply for survival perspective, okay? And I know I'm being a little hyperbolic, but I don't think I'm being exceedingly hyperbolic. All right, guys, let's keep going.
A survey found 72% of cybersecurity professionals took creative liberties on their resumes. Why do so...
All right, we're not talking about that. If you lie on your resume, I wouldn't do that. If you highlight things that you've done while downplaying things that you haven't done, I think that's fine. All right, let's cruise. All right, y'all. Holla, holla, holla. What a great episode. This was episode 887. Do want to say shout out to, what was his name? Proverbial? Hold on one second. We had a first timer in here. Provisional Creator. Welcome to the party, pal. Guys, really quick, we're going to switch over to jaw-jacking in a minute. This is a 30-minute AMA show. I mentor at scale. I will answer all your questions to the best of my ability. I can't respond to DMs for multiple reasons, but I can do a live stream and answer your questions. At 9:30 a.m., the bottom of the hour, 23 minutes from now, we are going to be launching episode 7, season 3 of Cybersecurity Mentors podcast. John Hoyt, Steve Higuerita, bringing that knowledge. People have been loving this show. Today they're talking about hack back. Offensive knowledge matters as far as being a good SecOps practitioner. So if you're interested in blue teaming and you're wanting to learn why offensive security knowledge would be valuable, come join us for that at 9:30 a.m., 22 minutes from now. And then today at 4:30 p.m., Simply Cyber Firesides is back, and it's spicy. Our very own community member, Josh Mason, will be joining us. He's a professional cybersecurity sales practitioner for a large, well-known cybersecurity company, but he's also a founder, a teacher, a podcast host, a pilot, Dude, this guy's got knowledge for days. But what I want to call your attention to is if you're looking to break into the industry, cybersecurity sales is a very lucrative on-ramp into cybersecurity. So it might be the path for you. That way, if you don't want to concede your salary, cybersecurity sales could be the path. So let's talk to Josh today at 4:30. Other than that, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Again, shout out to Dan Reardon, a.k.a. Haircut Fish, for the meme of the week. Just deal with it, MTV style. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. You guys are all beautiful people. I'll see you at Jawjacking. Let's go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. Woo woo! My name is Jerry Guy. This is Simply Cyber's Jawjacking. Many of you, what do we got? 350 of you beautiful people. Many of you might be coming from the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief, hosted by that nerd. Oh my God, Dr. Gerald Auger. Jesus criminy. Why don't you flip out a little harder about cybersecurity insurance, you nerd? Oh my God, were you guys there when he did that? Ugh. All right, so I am Jerry Guy. If Simply Cyber was a mullet, Dr. Gerald Auger is the business up front, and I am all day, every day, the party in the rear. Let's go, baby. This is Jawjacking. Good morning, Kathy Chambers. We are off and running. If you have a question for me, if you want your question answered, ask me anything. Put a Q in front of it so I know it's for me, and we can party like it's 1999. Someone get Prince on the phone. Let's go. New role is Senior IAM Engineer. Holy hand grenade. Welcome and awesome. Congratulations. I do want to say shout out and love to Strive. Strive is Moshe Levy and currently planning for the big wedding and also working through a technical job interview, sending good vibes your way. Shout out to Marcus Kyler when he watches on replay with the big wedding. Lots of weddings going on here in the community. Let's see. Looking at chat. What else? Who we got? What do we got? All right. I'm looking at chat right now. Guys, it's Thursday. Loving it. Rich464 says, did anyone hear about Facebook, Apple, Google, Netflix hit by login password data leak? No, but let's take a look. Those are large companies. Google password data leak. Let's see. 1 hour ago. Jesus Christ. This is spicy hot. Thank you, Rich464, coming in with this just-in-time story. Breaking news. Someone play the breaking news sounder. 200 million passwords leaked from Apple, Google, Facebook. Telegram signs $300 million AI deal. That's not the... Who cares about that? Users... Username, email, password, and some financial data is believed to have been stolen by a malware called an info stealer. Who is this article written for? It says Tech Informed is the website. Like, bruh. Hold on. This guy did this the other day. We already read about this story. Jeremiah Fowler. We talked about this story the other day. I think that this might be a slightly... Unless this researcher is just cranking out updates. I feel like we covered this the other day. Hold on one second. Yeah. This is this researcher basically found an info stealer was pushing data. Info stealer was pushing data to some data repository. The threat actor, it says it was unencrypted. Of course, the threat actor doesn't give a damn about cybersecurity. Who knows who accessed it? Could have been anyone. I would say... Yeah, I mean, number one, if you are not... it might be a good practice to change your Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Netflix passwords. If you are reusing passwords, which is an absolute horrible decision, you should change that password everywhere. You should absolutely have multi-factor authentication turned on all the places. Go after it. Next question. Roswell UK says, hold on. How was the award ceremony for my son, Callan? So many of you, if you attended yesterday's Daily Cyber Threat Brief, I speed ran the show and left at 8:45, went to the award ceremony. Very proud. It makes me so proud when I see my family get recognized for excellence, whether it's academic, athletic, whatever it is. Very proud. It just warms my heart. And it went great. He got his recognition. We took the photos. He was most pleased with being taken out of school for the rest of the day, and officially his last day of school. So he was like walking on sunshine. So thanks for asking, Roswell UK. Oh yeah. Brews and Hacks. Passkeys is good. If you're using passkeys, giddy up on that. Brews and Hacks and I actually have a passkey video coming out soon. Victoria's Secret temporarily has taken its website down. Victoria's Secret has a secret. Your data breach. I'm being careful. Oh. Yeah, check it out. Look at this. Hot. Go to victoriassecret.com. Value customer. We identified and are taking steps to address security. We've taken our website down. In-store services as a precaution. Last update. Minute, like literally, like this minute. Yikes. Not good. Let's see. Victoria's Secret's about to be public, yes. Let's see. Looking for questions that start with a Q so I can answer your questions and know that they're for me. This one I assume is for me, although it could be for everybody. I am going to DEF CON this year. I will be going to Black Hat this year. Shout out, Mrs. Auger will be coming to Black Hat DEF CON with me. I do want to point out one caveat with DEF CON. So with DEF CON, I will only be there Friday. And I will be speaking at Noob Village Friday morning. And then I will be, Mrs. Auger and I will be doing the Simply Cyber Community Meetup on Friday night. Details to follow. We've already got the location and the deposit put down, all those things. And then we'll be taking a red-eye flight out on Friday night. Typically, if I do have a DEF CON badge, I will give it to somebody at the Simply Cyber Community Meetup so it can be repurposed. But I don't know if I'm actually getting a badge this year. I might be doing a hot swap with somebody at Noob Village. Details to follow. But yes, I will be at DEF CON on Friday. Soulshine says, did you take your Active Directory hack class? No. I have not taken the Ryan Yeager AD hacking class yet. I'm not sure if I will. We did run a bunch of beta testers through it to make sure that the quality standards were in place. I do want to point out, Tyler Ramsby, many of you know, Tyler Ramsby, great guy, security practitioner, Hack Smarter founder. He is a senior web application cloud security penetration tester. He is coming on. He's got a class in the academy, and he's actually kind of taking a, what's the best way to put this? He's taking a leadership role with Simply Cyber Academy around the offensive security content. And I've got to tell you, like, he's definitely better positioned than I could do it. He's better positioned to help shape what the offensive security curriculum looks like at Simply Cyber Academy. So, yeah, like there's that. The Active Directory hacking class is free currently. And honestly, for all intents and purposes, it will remain free. You can get to it by going to academy.simplycyber.io. I'm going to drop a link in chat. And right here, you scroll down, right here, Hacking Active Directory. You'll notice the class is free, $0. And this is a full class. I mean, dude, look at this. Look how many lessons there are. building a DC, build the networks, 10 lessons on recon, right? Kerber roasting, password spraying, using Bloodhound, NTLM, RelayX, Responder. I will tell everybody, just to be quite clear, this is not a junior level, entry level class. There is expectations of prerequisite knowledge. If you have no knowledge of IT, networking, operating systems, what a domain looks like, you should go get a little bit of prerequisite knowledge or you will be overwhelmed. Yes. Tyler will have a more involved role to oversee the Academy red teaming division and assist in other areas where possible. Thank you, Chris Whitlock. All right, so looking up chat here. Yes. Oh yeah, Tyler Ramsey. You might know him for such hits as Black Hoodie On. Kathy Chambers used to work in Victoria's Secret, so we have an insider in the community reporting to us live. All right, so what questions you got, guys? I'm here to answer your questions. Carrie says, Jerry, the link in the description for anti-cyber, pay what you can, had a page not found. Okay, thank you, Carrie. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look really quickly live. So I'm thinking he's talking about the live stream, the description in the live stream. Let's take a look. I'm live right now. Let me see. Looking at the description. All right, so John Strand's Pay What You Can Antisyphon training, simplycyber.io/antisyphon. I'm clicking on the link. And page cannot be found. I see what it is. Okay, so check it out. Here's the deal. And I know Kimberly's not here right now, but this link right here, I will fix. The John Strand's Pay What You Can, that class has expired. I just need to fix this. Thank you, Carrie, for letting me know. I will sort that out. ASAP. Thank you, Carrie. As always, you can go to antisyphontraining.com and find out. Soulshine says, how can I make my Blink camera use facial recognition? That's a fun question. What I would say is, if you can, I don't think you, I mean, I know you're being silly, but like, this could happen. I think if you feed the inputs from the Blink camera into a system that is set up with facial recognition, you could do that. I don't think you could configure the Blink camera itself to be configured to use facial recognition, though. But I think if you could use the inputs or, the feed, you could do that. Oh, man, the questions are coming in hot now. You guys are coming at me. TJ Artist, I want to build PC for pen testing, bug bounty, gaming. Can't find any specific content to cybersecurity setup. Okay. So it doesn't really matter too much. What I would say is, if you go to, I guess what I would say is you can use Kali or Parrot OS. Those are really the popular ones for pen testing, bug bounty. Really, it's more about the tools in the toolbox, not about the PC itself. I mean, obviously you want it to be, if you're going to do gaming on it, I would recommend, heavy on the RAM, a GPU if possible. But I mean, you're not going to be like generating rainbow tables or cracking quantum encryption or something like that. A lot of tools are either command line or browser based, right? So I don't think you really should overthink it, TJ Artist. If anyone has suggestions on PC builds for pen testing, bug bounty, definitely drop it in chat. But I think, just a well-performing PC would be fine. Space Tacos, if you were getting started in cyber today, would you still do the doctorate or hustle through YouTube University? So, okay. So for those who don't know, I have a bachelor's, a master's in computer science, a master's in information assurance, a PhD in cyber operations. I worked, bachelor's degree, I went traditional undergrad student, lived on campus. Both masters and my PhD, I worked full time during that period of time. So it wasn't like I was doing school in order to get more knowledge to get a job in industry. Today, personally, I wanted the PhD, right? Like nobody, here's a friggin' reality, okay? Nobody should get a PhD unless they really want one, okay? Like there's reasons to get one for professional growth and stuff like that, but it is an incredibly arduous journey. It is incredibly hard. It is incredibly commitment heavy and very, very, it's a lot. It's emotional. It's challenging. So you should not get a PhD unless you absolutely really want it. Ask Kathy Chambers, right? She knows. She's getting one right now. If my kids came to me and said, Dad, I want to work in cyber, but I don't want to learn from you, what should I do? What I would say is, honestly, I would get a bachelor's degree in computer science, and I would use YouTube University to learn all sorts of things. There's so much content on YouTube. To me, the challenge really is, it's not about using YouTube to learn. It's about cutting through the noise and all the crap and all the wrong and all the scammers and all the scumbags on YouTube to get to the real content creators that kick massive butt. Now, again, we try to curate that here. John Hammond, Hackersploit, Tyler Ramsby. But one of the things you got to remember, Space Tacos and everybody listening, is a educational program curriculum is built very deliberately to build you brick by brick by brick. So the curriculum is organized in a certain particular order with certain particular learning outcomes. YouTube, it's like today you could learn about Bloodhound and you're like, what do I do with this? I don't even understand, because you don't even understand what networking is, right? So if you had some type of like curated curriculum experience, then YouTube University is good. But I would do the free stuff first. I always say that. Edwin says, laid off 3PAO auditor with 2 years experience in finishing my master's. Should I take SecOps analyst role now while I prep for Systems SysP and finish my master's? Yeah. Dude, Edwin Blanco, first of all, it sucks you got laid off. Second of all, you're clearly on the GRC career path. If you can get a SecOps analyst role, absolutely do it. It will enable you to be even a better GRC professional because you will understand when you're making GRC decisions, how they would impact the SecOps people. It'll make you a more desirable candidate for GRC roles because you'll have, chops basically, instead of just being some type of paper pushing, non-tech person. I would absolutely get it. Honestly, it sounds like you got a great plan right here, Edwin. Do you have any other courses you would like to recommend for someone long time in IT but new to cybersecurity? Well, it depends what you want to do, Ryunin, right? If you want to become a pen tester, you want to become a SecOps person, etc. If you've been in IT a long time and you want to get into cyber, yeah, there's a ton of opportunity. Again, I just need to know what you want to do. If you want to do GRC, again, full disclosure, do the free stuff first, but my GRC Analyst Masterclass is... And again, other people have said this, so I'm not an arrogant prick or whatever, but like my GRC Analyst Masterclass is a great class to give you all the pieces you need to transition into a junior level GRC analyst role. If you're interested in penetration testing, I think TCM Academy, their ethical hacker path is great, from what I've heard. If you want to get into cloud security, Tyler Ramsby has it's $20, AWS penetration testing course that's soup to nuts to load you up. If you want to get into SecOps and SecOps stuff, try HackMe's platform, has a really put together SecOps career path, learning path. Security Blue Team has a great learning path. Let's Defend has one. I can't speak to it, but those are your options right there, right off the rip. Okay. Silence says, I want to submit a CFP. Is Blue Team only beginner friendly place I should start? No. Silence Poet, Blue Team, Antisyphon's Blue Team Summit's great place to start. Your local B-Sides, any B-Sides conference is a great place to start. Simply CyberCon 2025 is a great place to start. So there you go. Code Brew says, if you build a game for PC, you'll have plenty of power for cyber. 100% agree with that statement. Guys, we are going to be going over to Cybersecurity Mentors podcast here in a hot minute. I do want everyone to know really quickly, if you didn't know, it's something I'm trying on Simply Cyber Academy. If you go to the main page, or any page really, there's a blog now on the front, on the top there. And the blog, I'm going to be making weekly posts, right? Me, Steve McMichael, Tyler Ramsby, Ryan Yeager, PBO, guest authors. I haven't asked yet, but like I'm going to ask Wade Wells, Fleetus, Chris Whitlock, Space. Like I'm going to ask tons of people. Basically, it's a blog, and it's providing more insights and context, and it's going to tie to the Academy. So go check that out if you're interested. No pressure. Let's go. How are we doing on time here? All right, the premiere is going to start shortly. Silence Poet, I want to learn a second language for my GR security. What? Are you talking about programming language? Then Python. If you're talking about speaking language, maybe Spanish. So, a lot of people speak Spanish here in the United States, so you might be able to do end-user awareness training and education to a Spanish audience natively. All right, here we are. We are about to go live in 1 minute. Guys, I want to say thank you to all of you. Brian, can you get an entry-level GRC with no prior experience? Yes, you can. You just have to demonstrate your ability to do that work. Can you share the link to Tyler's AWS class, Soulshine? I will do that. Ping me on Discord, or just go to academy.simplycyber.io. It's right there on the main page. We're going to raid here. We got everybody's questions caught up. Yes, sir. Let's go. Raid. All right, guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. This has been Thursday, May 29th. I'll see you over in the raid, or I'll see you at 4:30 for the Simply Cyber Firesides with Josh Mason. Until next time, stay secure.